Good evening, guys. Welcome to one more Facebook Live session from Aussizz Group. As we mentioned a couple of days ago, we are basically covering all the medical courses, which are extremely important in today's education scenario in Australia. The main reason what we are covering these ones and the courses what we are covering today are nursing, occupational therapy, public health management, physiotherapy, laboratory medical science, and health science management. Now, what we'll try to cover at the same time is, of course, the colleges in every state. We'll cover the available intakes which are coming up and the scholarships, what's the other college, every single college provide. We are very fortunate to have a migration agent with us today as well. Saurabh, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks,
I
Mangesh.
know you will have many questions today, so we'll definitely take those time to time. Now, let's not waste any more time and start with Brisbane and start with nursing. So, Jesse, can you please tell us the nursing courses in there? Will cover the colleges, available intakes, and scholarships, please.
Yes, thank you, Margaret. Jessie from Aussizz Brisbane. The first I will start with Master of Nursing. We got Master of Nursing from Griffith University, February intake, and then and in Gold Coast campus, the next one is Australian Catholic University, and February intake as well, and the IELTS requires 7H. And Brisbane campus, this one nursing course. And do you want me to the other course or just nursing?
Just nursing at this point of time, please. We'll go course to course.
Okay. Yeah. The second one is the Bachelor of Nursing. Bachelor of Nursing, we got University Southern Queensland. Intake, we got a February intake and July intake. The campus in regional area is Toowoomba. And the second university, Griffith University, we got a February and July intakes. Gold Coast campus as well. And the third university is University of Sunshine Coast, February and July intake. And we got a scholarship in University of Sunshine Coast is up to 15%, and University of Southern Queensland up to 20%. It depends on academic backgrounds. Yep.
Thank you, Jesse. Coming back to New South Wales, which is a neighboring state, Priyanka, can you please tell us about the nursing situation in New South Wales, please?
Sure, Mangirish. So I'll start with diploma. So with diploma, we have a lot of private colleges in Sydney. So for diploma of nursing, you have NTA, IHNA, Torrens University, TIFF, NSW, and they have intake of almost every 2-3 months. So it's going to be Feb, July, October, and then November onwards. And as of yet, for diploma, there's no scholarship. Now, moving on to bachelors, there are a lot of providers which offers different kind of bachelors, like bachelors with 3 years program, bachelors with which is after EN, which is 2 years, and graduate entry and conversion programs. So for those, there's Western Sydney University, University of Technology Sydney, Australian Catholic University, even Utah's campus in Sydney, and then University of Wollongong, University of New England, Armidale and Parramatta campus, Charles Sturt University, Southern Cross University, University of Newcastle, and UCID, University of Canberra. Also, I'm covering Canberra. And for Masters of Nursing, there are only 2 providers in New South Wales, which is University of Sydney and University of New England. That's about New South Wales, and there's no scholarship.
Okay. Thank you so much, Priyanka. Coming back to our home state, Rushda, can you please tell us about Victoria?
Sure, Mangirish. So talking about nursing, we have many providers, private providers, which offer diploma of nursing, which includes Menzies, Torrens, Chisholm, Box Hill, ACFE, Holmes Glen. There is Gordon TAFE, Acknowledge Education, and IHNA. So when we talk about the intakes, that varies from provider to provider. So for instance, Menzies next available intake is Feb, whereas Torrens is September intake is coming. So people can apply for diploma of nursing. The next, after September, it would be Feb. So it varies from provider to provider. Vauxhall has intake in Jan or Feb, or the next would be in July. ACFE has April and October intake, and Holmes Glen offers Feb and April intake as well. Coming to Bachelors of Nursing, so we have plenty of options in Melbourne. Bachelors of Nursing is offered by VU, Deakin, Swinburne, La Trobe, Torrance, Holmes Glen, Monash, Unimelb Federation, RMIT, and ACU. So when it comes to the Bachelors of Nursing first year entry intake, so that's just Feb intake. In July intake, people who have completed Diploma of Nursing, they can apply for for July intake with credits. La Trobe University also offers a Bachelors of Nursing graduate entry. It's for those people who have completed their bachelor's in a different stream. So this is a very good option. Like people who are on TR, they can also, if they want to enhance their skills, or anyone who's looking to start their career in nursing, they can take up, it's never too late. So they can take up a grad entry program in La Trobe. It has only Feb intake. Talking about the Masters of Nursing intakes, the providers, number one is Monash University. So they have 2 intakes, Feb and July, whereas Unimelb has a Masters of Nursing Science intake is only in March. So they mostly, when it comes to nursing courses, providers, they do not offer, many scholarships. So there are no scholarships for now. And IRON program is APIQ program, which is for overseas, nurses, they can have their registration done here. So for now, that is being offered by La Trobe, and they offer intake every 2 months. So that's like the nursing thing from Victoria.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you so much, Rushda. Falguni, can you please tell us about Adelaide? Or I should say South Australia.
Sure, Girish. So I'll start with diploma. So we have majorly 3 providers for diploma of nursing. That is Think Education, that's with Torrance. We have Equals International, and then we have TAFE. Talking about the intakes, Equals and Think Education have intakes usually around 3 to 4 intakes a year, because nursing, diploma of nursing is a very popular course when we consider the PR pathways and the time duration for the entire course. With TAFE, we just have the January and July intake. Talking about the scholarships, not really too much of scholarships when it comes to nursing, any course, either master's, bachelor's, or diploma. But a good thing for the people who want to do their diploma of nursing with Think is if they're already a Torrance alumni, they can have scholarship up to 25%. Now, we also have advanced diploma. Again, it's not advanced diploma of nursing, not very much available throughout the year, usually 3 intakes. That is with Equals International. We do have bachelors, as Rushda mentioned. We do have the graduate program, which is for the people who just want to go ahead, who have like the graduate entry. They can go ahead there. So that is provided by Flinders University. We do have the bachelor's pre-registration, which is provided by University of South Australia and Flinders University. And of course, Bachelor's of Nursing as an honours degree is provided by University of Adelaide. Going to the Masters of Nursing, we do have clinical nursing as specialization, which is provided by University of Adelaide. We do have few more specializations in Masters, that is Masters of Nursing and Acute Care. Then we have Global Healthcare and Primary Healthcare, which is provided by Flinders University. And we also, this Masters of Nursing is also provided by UniSA. And talking about the intakes, when it comes to university, it's usually January and July, just 2 intakes that the students can actually go ahead with. And scholarship, again, would be depending on your prior studies and your English course. It usually is a case-to-case thing. So nothing majorly that can be generalized in terms of scholarships. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you. Thanks, Falguni. Coming back to Western Australia, Naman, can you please tell us about Western Australia altogether? Thank you. Sorry, you are mute, Naman. We can't hear you.
All good now?
Yes, all good, all good, all good.
So I'll be starting with Bachelor of Nursing. And for Bachelor of Nursing in WA, we have the 3 major universities, and these are Murdoch, ECU, and Curtin. And for all of these 3 universities, we have January and July intake. And for this Bachelor of Nursing, at the moment, there is no scholarship. Yeah, if you have done like based on your English test requirements and your previous studies, they might offer you some scholarship, but there is no specific scholarship at the moment for this Bachelor of Nursing course. And the intakes I mentioned January and July. Now coming to Master of Nursing, for Master of Nursing, the coming intake is now available in ECU, that is the February intake, and this is a graduate entry program. So anyone from known background is also eligible to apply for this Master of Nursing. And the same course is available in Curtin, and the intake is July intake. And this is also a graduate entry program, and anyone can from known background would be eligible to apply for this Master of Nursing. So again, for masters as well, there is no specific scholarship at the moment. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Naman. Now, coming back to, we unfortunately don't have any offices in NT and Tasmania. We'll have soon. But in the meantime, Diksha, who is covering Northern Territory and Tasmania. Diksha, can you please
Sure, Mangreesh. Thank you so much.
tell us about the states, please?
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Mangreesh. Yeah, so we don't have office in NT and Tasmania. So I sit in Melbourne office, but we do know all about NT and Tasmania as well, as we work with the universities and colleges. So don't worry about that, guys. You can still come to us and, we can still discuss about options in NT and Tasmania. Now, when it comes to nursing, NT has one of the biggest public university, which is Charles Darwin University. So they have both Bachelor of Nursing and Master of Nursing available. So Bachelor of Nursing is there for 3 years, and the intake, they have only one intake for that, which is Feb intake. And also for Master of Nursing, they have, which is for 1 year, and they have both Feb and July intake. Now, coming to the scholarship, so far NT, the Darwin CDU University hasn't announced the scholarships yet for the following intakes like February or July, because they have recently finished a July intake and all the scholarships are currently closed. So as soon as the scholarships get open again, we will definitely let our viewers know that what are the scholarships, because generally they have a Global Excellence Award and Higher Achiever Award, but currently they don't have any scholarships available. It's closed for now. And also there's a good news that CDU is going to run few courses in November intake as well. So definitely we will be telling our viewers more in detail. So for now, nursing, they're not running in November intake, but they do have next Feb and July intake. Right now, when it comes to Tasmania, we have options of bachelor's, master's, and diploma in Tasmania. So first, I'll talk about diploma. So we have a diploma option in Tasmania TAFE. So it's basically a TAFE. The diploma is for 2 years, and they have the intake in Feb and July. Right now, when it comes to any person who is on their TR, Tasmania TAFE will actually consider them as a local student, so they will be getting the subsidized fee. So for local student and domestic students, since the fees are different, so it's a good chance students who are on their TR and they want to study diploma of nursing, they can study in TAFEs and can get subsidized fees. But apart from that, for all the international students, Tasmania TAFE has come up with this $1,000 scholarship. So they'll be giving $1,000 scholarships to the international student, but now there are certain criteria to get that scholarship. So first of all, you have to apply before 31st October 2020. Also, the scholarships results will be announced by November 6, 2020. While you're applying for the course, you just have to make sure that you give in the SOP why the student want to study in Tasmania, what were the previous achievements, all these things. So once you provide that, on the basis of that, they will check whether you meet their requirement or not, and they will provide you a scholarship of $1,000 if you're an international student. Now, when it comes to Bachelor of Nursing, then we have again a very big public university, which is University of Tasmania. Their Bachelor of Nursing is for 3 years, and their intake is only Feb. After that, they also have Master of Nursing, which is for 2 years. And they're so for now, the intakes are not currently out yet. So this year, there won't be an intake. So for next year, they'll be sending us what are the intakes. And the scholarships available for UTAS is they have something called Tasmanian International Scholarship, which is 25% of the tuition fee, but it is not applicable for everyone. They have certain criteria. If you meet those criteria, then only you can get that scholarship. Yeah, so that's it about NT in Tasmania.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Diksha. Saurabh, now I've got a question for you. When it comes to nursing, of course, our viewers are sending us messages. What can you tell us when it comes to migration about nursing?
Thanks, Mangaresh, for asking this kind of question. I believe a lot of viewers actually wanted to know, what are the prospects of nursing when it comes to migration. And most importantly, what I can say is that as you have seen in these unprecedented times of COVID-19, the healthcare workers, nurses, registered nurses are the health line of the economy. So they are the one that are actually assisting every state as well in regards to dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic. So when it comes to Victorian nomination as well for 190, as you know, that previously all the registered nurses were actually being nominated at the bare minimum of 60 points as well, because the states normally just look into, specifically Victoria, they only look into the basic eligibility criteria. That was you must have studied in Australia in the last 2 years, and the studies must be relevant to your occupation as well. So a lot of nurses who actually, overseas nurses who came to Australia and then they studied Master of Public Health, they also were actually successful in obtaining a positive nomination outcome. And even if you look into the last year, the total registered nurses occupations were around 17,500. But for yesterday, there was an update in the occupation ceilings, and it's as compared to the other occupations, there is a little bit increase in nurses as well. So for this financial year, from 2020 to 2021, the registered nurses is actually sitting at around 17,859, and this is the only occupation which has actually in 5 figures occupation ceilings. Most of the occupations are only sitting at 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, maximum 8,000 for trades occupations. But as we can see that there is a really high demand for nurses as well. That's why they have actually increased their threshold to up to 17,859. Another thing that I want to bring up to you as well, yesterday, a couple of days ago, South Australia has actually they actually put a information out that there is going to be as we all know that the budget will be out in October. That's where the different states will get the nomination places from the federal government. But state government, South Australian state government will actually receive some kind of nomination places only for the people who are working in critical sectors. So basically, it looks like there is a good news for nurses and other occupations who are actually working in a medical background or currently working in healthcare. So there's a good chance for that we probably can see nominations occupations being opened up prior to being big round in October.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, Saurabh. Coming back to our courses. So guys, if you have any migration related questions, feel free to just type it in comment section and we'll try to take as many questions as possible. Now, coming back to our courses, now occupational therapy is the second course what we have. Again, starting from Brisbane. Jesse, can you please tell us about the colleges, available intakes and scholarships when it comes to occupational therapy, please?
Yep. I just want to talk about Bachelor of Psychotherapy from Griffith. We got the two university in Brisbane. The first one is Griffith University, only available February intake, and Gold Coast campus regional. And the second one is the Australian Catholic University, and February intake as well. And but Australian Catholic is Brisbane campus. We only have a 2 university for Bachelor of Physical Therapy and no master course for physical therapy.
Okay, thank you. Thanks,
Yes.
Jesse. Coming back to Priyanka. Priyanka, can you please tell us about NSW?
Sure. With bachelor's and master's, mostly there are only 6 universities that offer both bachelor's and master's of occupational therapy, and that is Southern Cross University, Western Sydney University, Australian Catholic University, Charles Sturt University, University of Sydney, and for Canberra, it's University of Canberra. Now, with available intakes, it's February and July, and with scholarship, there's only one scholarship offered by Australian Catholic University, which is 50% scholarship if the students have had 80% in their year 12 to go for bachelor's degree. And for them to maintain that scholarship, they need to have at least maintain 4.75 GPA out of 7 scale in their current course. And that's about for New South Wales and ACT.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you so much. Rujda, can you please tell us about Victoria?
So coming to occupational therapy, the course is being offered by Deakin University, Monash University, ACU, and La Trobe. So it's a Bachelor's of Occupational Therapy honors, whereas in Deakin, it's just Bachelor's of Occupational Therapy. Coming to their intakes, they have Feb or March intakes. So no July intake. And when we talk about Masters of Occupational Therapy, it is only being offered at Swinburne University, and the intake is August intake. When we talk about the scholarships, so for instance, Swinburne, they do offer scholarships, but that's just the general, academic scholarships based on the previous, let's say, based on their bachelor's results. So that all these are, when it comes to scholarships, not many universities offer scholarships in occupational therapy. For now, it's just Swinburne. And as Priyanka said, ACU does offer scholarship. The criteria is same for Melbourne campus as well.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you so much, Rujda. Falguni, our neighboring state, can you please tell us about South Australia?
Yes, sure, Mangarish. We don't have a lot of courses when it comes to occupational therapy. We do have bachelors of occupational therapy, which is in University of South Australia and University of Adelaide, and then we have the masters of occupational therapy, which is at University of South Australia and Flinders University. Talking about the intakes, they are again the Feb and the July intake, and as everybody else mentioned, the scholarships, when it comes to top universities, they usually have a very simple criteria, that it's either the merit-based scholarship. They don't really lure students with a lot of scholarship that are available. So basically, again, I would say it's more of case-to-case basis and with your previous studies and your English course.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you so much, Falguni. Naman, can you please tell us about Western Australia?
Yeah. So starting with Bachelor of Occupation Therapy, we have Curtin and ECU. And in ECU, we have 2 intakes in a year. It says January and July. And in Curtin, there is only 1 intake, that is February. And the Master of Occupation Therapy is only available in Curtin, and they have now upcoming January intake. Yeah, that's it for WA.
Thank you. Coming back to NT and Tasmania, Diksha.
Sure. So for NT, there is only one option, that is Bachelor of Health Science leading to Master of Occupational Therapy. They do not have direct Master of Occupational Therapy. So it's a combined package of 4 years, and the intake is only Feb and July. Scholarship already discussed, that they haven't disclosed yet. And in Tasmania, there is no option for occupational therapy. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Diksha. Now, of course, we've pretty much covered all those, all the states when it comes to occupational therapy. Saurabh, I'll come back to you in some time. There are a few questions coming up. The next course, what we have is Public Health Management. Jesse, again, starting from you, can you please tell us about Public Health Management, please? Sorry, you're muted, Jesse. Can't hear you.
Yeah, in Brisbane, we got a Master of Public Health from Torrens University, and we can get a 30% up to 30% scholarship, and the next intake will be September and November and December. And the second one is the Griffith University, and intake is be February and July intake, and Griffith University will be in Gold Coast campus. This is in Brisbane. That's it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Priyanka, coming to New South Wales, courses and of course colleges and intakes in public health management, please.
Sure. With bachelors, we don't really have a lot of options. So with Bachelors of Public Health Management, it's going to be University of Wollongong, University of New South Wales, and University of Technology, Sydney. They don't necessarily have a lot of intakes. It's only Feb and July, and the scholarship available is only with University of Wollongong, which is again varies from 10% to 30%, depends upon the merit of the student. Now with masters, they have University of Sydney, Torrens University, and University of Canberra in ACT. And the intake again is depending upon university, so it can be February, July, September, and November. And with masters, there's no scholarship except for Torrens University. They offer 10% scholarship for transferring students, and depending upon if they have an IELTS of 7.5 overall, they can get up to 25% scholarship.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you so much, Priyanka. Rujda, can you please tell us about Melbourne and surroundings, please?
Sure. So talking about public health courses at bachelor's level are being offered at Monash, La Trobe, Deakin, Torrens in ACU. And when it comes to masters, so masters of public health is offered at Torrens, VU, ACU, Federation, CQ, La Trobe, Deakin, and Monash. So when we talk about the intakes, so intakes generally it's Feb and July, but universities like Torrens, they do offer September intake. So intake basically varies from universities to university. Either it's Feb, March, June, July, or September, November. So that varies. Talking about the scholarship, so scholarship varies. For instance, La Trobe and Deakin, they do offer scholarship based on the previous academics. So that depends if a person has about, there is a different slab for it. So that depends on the academic scores and everything. And Torrens University, as Priyanka said, they do offer scholarship 15% flat. And based on academics and English score, they do also 25% scholarship as well. That's all from Victoria.
Perfect. Thank you. Thanks, Rujda.
Thank you.
Coming back to our neighboring state back again, Falguni, can you please tell us about?
Yes, so with public health, yes. With public health, we do have graduate certificates and graduate diploma, which is provided by Torrens University, University of South Australia, and University of Adelaide. Other than that, we do have bachelors, which is provided with Torrens, and the intakes for Torrens are very flexible, around 3. And if they have more students, even the October intake can be done. And Torrens gives around 15% scholarship to people who are transferring their universities, and additional 10%, which is their merit scholarship. Then we come to Bachelors of Public Health, which is with UniSA. Again, they have January and July. That's just 2 intakes for the year. Scholarship would again, it's normally the scholarship with UniSA and Uni Adelaide is pretty much similar with all the courses that we're going to discuss today. Again, it depends from student to student and how they performed in their prior studies. So they can get like a 10 to 15% of international merit scholarship for the first year. But again, if they have performed exceptionally very good in their previous studies, they may be eligible for further scholarships. For Masters of Public Health, we do have Torrens University, we have Flinders University, we have University of Adelaide and University of South Australia. For Flinders, Uni Adelaide and UniSA, again, the intakes would be the Feb and the July. There's not too much variation and availability of intakes when we talk about these 3 universities. And with Torrens, the Masters of Public Health, again, the scholarship would be similar. That would be around 10% to 25% with Torrens. And then Uni Adelaide and Flinders and Uni SA don't really have much of scholarships.
Thank you. Thanks, Falguni. Coming back to Naman. Naman, can you please tell us about WA?
Yeah, in WA for bachelors in public health, at the moment we don't have any provider. Yeah, but we do have Master of Public Health, and the providers are Curtin and ECU. And intakes for both of the universities are January and July intake, and at the moment no scholarship for this medical and health related courses. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you so much. Diksha, can you please cover NT and Tasmania, please?
Sure, Mangrish. For NT, we do have Bachelor of Public Health in CDU, which is for 3 years. And then the intake is Feb and July. We also have a Graduate Diploma of Public Health for 1 year, and the intake is Feb. And another Master of Public Health, which is for 1.5 years, and intake is Feb only. So these are the 3 available courses related to public health in NT. When it comes to Tasmania, they have Master of Public Health in University of Tasmania, which is for 2 years, and intake again here only is Feb. For scholarships, Tasmania has only Tasmania International Scholarship, which is 25%, which is available on certain criteria, so not applicable to everyone. For NT, as we discussed, they don't have scholarships at the moment. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Diksha. I've got a few questions here. Saurabh, I've got a question here for you. Trupti Patel is asking, I have a visa left till May 2021, already did Masters of Networking. I would like to know if I consider studying Diploma of Nursing as a PR prospect in South Australia. What are your suggestions?
I think as a migration point of view, if you look at nursing as well, Diploma of Nursing will actually lead you to enroll nurse, and enroll nurse is actually in a state-sponsored occupation list as compared to registered nurse, which is in MLT SSL list, which opens up another options for such as 189 and 491 family sponsor as well. Plus, if you do study for 2 years in Adelaide and then you live there as well, you probably be also eligible to apply for, get extra 5 points for regional studies as well. Another option, good option would be, so there's a lot of circumstances in place. We're not sure whether she has actually already did 485 visa or not, but if she hasn't got her 485 visa yet, then if you do study in regional area as well, you probably end up getting 3 to 4 years worth of your 485 extended 485 visas as well, since you've been studying in regional area. So there's a lot of circumstances in place as well. The question is not 100% clear as well. So based on just a general picture, obviously nursing is in really high demand due to the current circumstances, and Australian government, they do understand that as well. They're moving forward in the future as well, how important healthcare workers are. So I would say whether it's a Diploma of Nursing or it's a Bachelor of Nursing, I would say go for that. And if you do get the opportunity to go for Bachelor of Nursing, because Diploma of Nursing is also for 2 years, and Bachelor of Nursing, if you can get some kind of exemptions and stuff, and you got a graduate entry, then you also end up doing 2 years of Bachelor of Nursing, where you will end up getting registered as a registered nurse, which is even better than enrolled nurse.
Yep. Thank you. Thanks, Saurabh. Trupti, I hope we've answered your question. For more information, of course, you can get in touch with one of your offices. The next question, or the next course what we have, is physiotherapy. Starting from Jessie again. Jessie, can you please tell us about the physiotherapy courses in Brisbane or in Queensland? Thank you. You're muted, so please unmute yourself.
Sorry. Is it physical therapy?
Physiotherapy, thank you.
Okay. We in Brisbane we got the Bachelor of Physical Therapy. It's 4 years. We got the 2 university, Griffith University. Only available February intakes. Gold Coast campus regional, and the second university is Australian Catholic University. February intake in Brisbane campus, and they require overall rate average 87 in the best academic for subject related to therapy. We don't have a master course physical therapy in Brisbane.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, Jesse.
Thanks.
No problem. Priyanka, next one is yours in NSW, please.
Okay, so with Bachelor's of Physiotherapy, we have Australian Catholic University, Charles Sturt University, Western Sydney University, University of Technology Sydney, and the intakes are February, March, and July. Now with scholarship, Western Sydney offers scholarship of $5,000, $7,000, and up to 50% scholarship of the entire duration, depending upon the merit. Now, Masters of Physiotherapy, we only, in New South Wales only University of Sydney, and with ACT it's only Australian National University, and the intake is only Feb intake, and there's no scholarship as of now. That's it for NSW and ACT.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you so much, Priyanka. Rujda, can you please cover Victoria?
Sure. So physiotherapy courses at bachelor's level are being offered at Monash University, ACU, and La Trobe. Monash has Feb intake, ACU also offers Feb intake, whereas La Trobe offers March intake. Coming to Masters of Physiotherapy, Swinburne does offer this course, so the intake is August intake, and La Trobe also offers Physiotherapy Masters, and the next available intake, they just offer one intake in a year, and that's January intake. Not many scholarships are offered by these universities, so it's just the general academic merit-based scholarships. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks, Rujda. Falguni, can you please tell us about essay?
Sorry. With essay, when I see everybody saying so many universities to this, so we just have 3 universities at the moment. Hope we expand soon. So with Bachelors of Physiotherapy, we just have Uni SA and Uni Adelaide. And with Masters, we just have Flinders. So with the Masters of Physiotherapy, they do have a graduate entry. So anybody who just has a prior bachelor's, irrespective of whatever bachelor's they have, they can still get into it, similar to the Masters of Nursing graduate program. And the intakes would be, again, January and July, and scholarships more or less are pretty much same when it comes to any medical courses in South Australia. That's it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Naman, can you please tell us about Western Australia? Sorry, you're muted.
For Bachelor of Physiotherapy in W, again, only we have just one provider, and Curtin. So they have only one intake, that is January intake for Bachelor of Science in Physiotherapy. And for Master of Physiotherapy, they have recently changed the course name from Master of Physiotherapy to Doctor of Physiotherapy, adding some additional entry requirements. So this is for 2.5 years, and again, the intake is just January intake for Doctor of Physiotherapy.
Perfect. Thank you. Diksha, I believe we don't have any physiotherapy course in NT. Do we have anything in Tasmania?
No, we don't have any in NT and Tasmania. So
okay, no problem. Thank you. Thank you so much. So guys, we've covered physiotherapy. There are questions coming in. We'll try to take as much as possible. Feel free to message your questions. The next course what we have is laboratory medical science. We don't have this one in NSW, but Jesse, can you please tell us about Brisbane? Sorry, you're again muted. Please check your computer whether it's muted.
Yes, sorry. In Brisbane, we got a 2 university offer Bachelor of Medical Laboratory Science. The first one is Griffith University. We got the February and July intake, duration 4 years, and Gold Coast campus and Brisbane campus. The second university is the University of Southern Queensland, scholarship up to 20%, and the intake is February and July intake. Duration is only 3 years, and Toowoomba campus is a regional campus. And in University Southern Queensland, they offer, if you just like you don't have, you can get a pathway to enter the Bachelor of Medical Laboratory, just like TBB, a preparation program, or you can study associate degree before you start the bachelor degree. This all for Brisbane. I have a master laboratory science. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, Jesse. Rushda, can you please tell us about Victoria?
Sure. So, in Victoria, Bachelors of Biomedical Science specializing in laboratory medicine is being offered at RMIT. The intake is Feb intake only, and RMIT also offers Masters of Laboratory Medicine. So they have July and Feb intake. For first year entry, it's July intake, and people who are looking for credits, they can apply for Feb intake only. And RMIT they do not offer any scholarships for now. Thank you, Mangirish.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, Rushda. Saurabh, my question to you now. Thank you. Saurabh, my question to you now about laboratory medical sciences and physiotherapy, what the two courses, what we talked about just now. Are there any PR prospects about these two courses?
Yes, thanks, Mankrish, for the question. There are a lot of, if you can see the new occupation ceilings as well. For physiotherapists specifically, there are around 1,685 positions actually available for the new financial year. As compared to the laboratory medical science, they are approximately around 1,500. So there is actually a really good demand as well. As well as for Victoria State nomination as well, there are actually physiotherapists, and there are a few other health occupations which are actually in their state priority list as well.
Yeah. So depending on the case to case, of course, what would you recommend? So the people, they have, space specific information, would we of course recommend them to contact us, and we'll definitely look into their case.
Exactly. So every case is actually different. So we need to see, whether how much experience do they have, what kind of registration do they have? Is that a provisional registration, or is that a limited registration, or is that a general registration? So a lot of medical practitioners themselves, they actually only have a provisional registration. But for general skill migration, they actually need a general registration, not a provisional or limited registration. So there's a lot of factors involved, and a lot of people, they end up applying for 189, using wrong skill assessment or wrong registration, which would actually have really adverse effects down the track when they do actually get their visa refused.
Yeah, perfect. And I'm just getting one question for you, Saurabh. Vishal is asking us, I have cleared Australian Medical Council Part 1 and PTE. How will I get a permanent residency? Can Aussizz help me to get my first job?
Okay.
Vishal, well, we can help you when it comes to permanent residency, but we can't help you to get a job as a doctor. Saurabh, any special comments?
Okay, so in regards to getting in regards to PR prospects as well, he just passed one exam and then he's got the PT score, but he actually has to apply for the process through APRA, and then he probably would get a provisional registration, and then he would have to work on as under supervision of another doctor in a clinic or in actually a proper health organization setup, where then he would be able to actually, once he got the general registration, that is what his skill assessment is. There is no skill assessment letter for medical practitioners. It's just a general registration. So a lot of the people, they do actually only get provisional registration. They work with someone under supervision for at least 12 months. After 12 months, that is also gets converted by APRA into a general registration. And then he can apply for PR.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, Saurabh. Now coming back to our courses, Falguni, can you please tell us about South Australia?
So when we talk about the laboratory medical sciences, we just have a Cert 3 in laboratory skills and a diploma of laboratory technology at TAFE, which can be packaged with your bachelor's of laboratory medicines, which is available at UniSA. And when it comes to masters, we do have Masters of Science, which is in laboratory technology, again with UniSA. So TAFE SA and UniSA again have just 2 intakes in the entire year. That is the February and the July intake, and more or less the scholarships are the same. So that would be pretty much it for this course.
Thank you. Thanks, Falguni. Naman, coming back to you for Western Australia, please.
Yeah. For Bachelor of Science in Laboratory Medicine, we have Curtin and Murdoch, and in both the universities, the intakes available are February and July. and no scholarships at the moment.
Thank you. Thanks, Naman. Diksha, coming back to you for NT and Tasmania, please.
Yep, sure. For NT, we do have Bachelor of Medical Laboratory Science, which is for 4 years, and intake is Feb and July. For Masters, they also have a Masters, which is again Medical Laboratory Science, which is for 2 years, and the intake is only February. Same, the scholarship not announced yet. It's Charles Darwin University, which is doing these 2 courses. So we will let our viewers know when the scholarships are announced. Now, when it comes to Tasmania, they do have a certificate in lab techniques. They have a diploma of lab technology. They have graduate diploma of lab medicine, bachelor's of laboratory medicine, and master's of laboratory medicine. So all the certificate diploma that I'm talking about in lab techniques is available in Tasmania TAFE. Again, we spoke about TAFE before as well. Both these courses is for 46 weeks, and the only intake available is February. Scholarships, as we discussed, they do have something called $1,000 scholarship, but it is not applicable to everyone. You have to pass the certain criteria, which I already spoke about, how you have to write an SOP to be eligible for this scholarship of 1,000. And if you are if you're on TR, you can be eligible to get subsidized tuition fees. Now, when it comes to graduate diploma, it is available in University of Tasmania, which is for 1.5 years, and the intake is only in July. Bachelor of Laboratory Medicine, which is for 3.5 years, and intake is only February. And then Master of Laboratory Medicine, which is for 2 years, and intake is again only February. So these 3 are available in University of Tasmania, and scholarship, as discussed before, does not apply to everyone, but they do have a Tasmanian International Scholarship. Thank you, Mangresh.
Thank you. Thanks, Diksha. Sukhdeep Kaur, I think, is trying to ask us, is there any chance to get admission in EN with each 6 score in PTE? Anybody can answer that?
Yeah, I'll go ahead, Mangresh. If you
Anybody wants to go ahead?
Yeah.
Sure.
So Mangresh, with anyone now, when it comes to nursing, the body of nursing is really strict that they want the students to have 7 each from the start of the academics itself. Like, all the universities, all the institutes, colleges, they have revised their requirement to 7 each only. There are some providers which are accepting PT as well, but a lot of providers are accepting only IELTS. So not with 6 each.
Sure. Thank you. Thanks, Diksha. There are a few questions coming up, but I'll take it at the end for you, Saurabh. Now, the last course, what we're going to cover today is health service management, of course. Starting back from Jesse. Jesse, can you please tell us about health service management? You're again muted.
Sorry, just waiting me 1 second.
Yes, you can. We can hear you now.
I think it's house service management in Brisbane. We don't have this course.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, Jesse. Coming back to Priyanka. Priyanka, can you please tell us about NSW?
Yes, so for Bachelors of Health Service Management, we have University of Technology, Sydney, Western Sydney University, University of New South Wales, University of Sydney. Intakes would be February, July, and November. And the scholarships, again, is offered by Western Sydney University, which is 5,000, 7,000, and 50% of the entire duration. With Masters of Health Service Management, we have UCID and University of New South Wales, but there's one management course, which is MBA majoring in health service management, which is offered by Kaplan Business School. And they also have Feb, July, November intake. And at the moment, they're offering 50% scholarship of the entire course fee. And they have specific requirement about that. And for that specific requirement, you have to really get in touch with us. And there's a very limited time frame to apply for it. So yes, if in case you fall under that category, you should get in touch with us as soon as possible.
Perfect. Thank you. Thanks, Priyanka. Rujda, can you please tell us about Victoria?
Sure. So coming to health and services management, we don't have any provider offering bachelor's courses. We do have masters of health service management courses provided by Deakin University, and Federation also offers MBA specialization in health service management, and Kaplan, as Priyanka said, is offering a MBA course which is MBA in health service management, and the next available intake is September intake. Then they have November intake, and then the next year would be Feb intake. So they're offering 50% scholarship as well. That's all from Victoria.
Thank you. Thanks, Rushda. Our neighboring state back again, Falguni. Falguni, can you please tell us about SA?
Yes, so with SA, we do have a certificate 3 course, which is in health service assistance, that is at equals. So anybody, as we had a question that if somebody wants to go ahead with diploma of nursing and they don't have the required scores, they can package it up with the health service assistance cert 3. So this can give them an extra room so that they can actually prepare for their English and then get enrolled, and they can also get credits for their diploma of nursing. So this can be a pathway towards their diploma of nursing. Coming to Masters of Health Service Management, we have that in UniSA. Again, the intakes would be January and July. No specific scholarships as such that we know. And as everybody has already covered, that we do have the MBA from Kaplan, which is like the hotshot topic right now because they are giving a huge number of scholarship. And the intakes are also September, November, and the scholarships are running all the way till mid next year. And the best part about the scholarship is, people who've been working in this field for anywhere between last 6 months to last 12 months are eligible. So as Priyanka said, just get in touch with us and we'll be able to help you. That is pretty much everything from Adelaide.
Perfect. Thank you. Thanks, Falguni. Naman, can you please tell us about Western Australia?
Yeah. For WA, as such, we don't have this health services management, but the similar type of courses available like Master of Health Administration and Policy in Curtin and Murdoch. So they have 2 intakes in a year, again, the February and the mid-year intake, and no scholarship at the moment. That's all for WA.
No problem. Thank you. Now, before going to Diksha, I have one question for Saurabh. Saurabh, one person is asking, Sapran Inder is asking, I'm working as an enrolled nurse from last year. Is there any option to get 491 in Victoria?
Okay, well, in regards to enrolled nurse for Victoria and also for plus 491, they would actually need to show that they have actually been employed or they have an employment offer as an enrolled nurse in a regional Victoria for at least 1 year, and the employment has been actually gained through a legitimate purpose, processes, and there is a genuine need of enrolled nurse in the business as well. So if they can provide all this kind of information, there is a good chance they can actually get a 491 nomination approved. And also, as you can see currently, that there is a lot of requirements and there is a lot of necessities of a enrolled nurse and a registered nurse at the moment in Victoria. So they have actually really high opportunities of obtaining a successful 491 nomination. And what I would say is that the Victoria is going to, most of the states will be opening up in October, and you should actually be prepared and then, because you don't want to miss out when the state actually opens up. Then there's going to be hundreds of applications, people will be applying for that. So get in touch with us so we can actually get your decision ready, application ready, so that we know as soon as the state opens, we can apply for it.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Saurabh. Sapran, I hope we've answered your question. If you still need more information, you can definitely get in touch with us. And of course, the last state what we left out is of course NT and Tasmania. Diksha, can you please tell us about the health service management?
Sure, Manpreet, thank you so much. So last but not the least, NT and Tasmania. So we'll talk about health service management here. So NT does have health service management, which is for Bachelor of Health Service Management which is again in CDU, and the course is for 3 years, and the intake available is Feb and July. So CDU also has a course called Graduate Certificate of Health Service Management. I like, people can see that course on the website. But guys, please note that that course is only available in the Sydney campus. So if you want to get enrolled, I think Priyanka is the right person for you. So that course is only available there. It is for 6 months. And again, it is available in Feb and July. And in Tasmania, we don't have any health service management course. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you so much, Diksha. Now coming back to migration now. Sort of we've covered, 6 courses. Is there any expert comment which you would like to give from migration side, saying, any important change which is currently occurred, or anything you would like to add from migration side? Please feel free.
Sure. So as you can see, there was a question from someone, Kinjal Patel. She was asking about medical imaging course. So I just want to point out that there's an occupation called sonographer, and for that occupation you only actually need 7 each. There is no registration required as long as you have a skill assessment, and you can actually be eligible to apply for Victorian 190 application as well for that one, provided the state actually opens up. And also there's another occupation such as speech pathologist, where you can actually only need 6 each, and you can actually apply for that as well. And I would recommend is registered nurses, as always, are actually quite in high demand. And if you are currently studying nursing as well, you still have the opportunity to actually apply for permanent residency through that pathway as well. So all the courses that we actually did discuss, and registered nurse obviously would be the very top of all these occupations. And then when it comes to public health management and health service management, so the occupations could come up as a primary health service, organization manager. So those occupations are actually in MLT SSL list, and they are actually, those occupations have been increased as compared to what they were actually in the last financial year. Back to you, Mangesh.
Thank you. Thanks, Saurabh. So guys, we have tried our level best to cover the favorite, whatever 6 courses, what you guys have told us to cover. As you guys know that every single fortnight we come in with the different courses, with the different streams, to give you as much information as possible. In Victoria itself, as you guys know that we all having a smiling face, which is very good, because right now all our offices in Victoria is kind of shut due to COVID, but we all are working from home. We are working from the normal times, 9 to 6. So feel free to get in touch with us. All our numbers are already here on Facebook, and of course YouTube as well. And feel free to get in touch with us. Of course, as you can see, there are 5 different states what we are providing all the information from. And of course, if we don't have offices in LT and in Tasmania, that doesn't mean we don't cover those universities and colleges. Of course, we have tie-ups with the colleges and universities, so feel free to get in touch with any information what you're looking for. We have earlier, of course, somebody said that how come there's so much, everybody's so much knowledgeable when it comes to education and of course migration. So people who you're seeing right now are of course certified consultants, so they have done the course, and that's why they are educated in the education field itself. So feel free to get in touch with us, and we'll definitely take care of all your queries. Thank you so much for today. Have a good evening, and we'll see you in 2 weeks time with different courses, with different colleges, and of course we'll have someone from migration team as well who will give you, or who will cover all your migration questions as well. So have a good evening. Thank you so much, and see you later.